Welcome back. Joining me now with the Fit Brain Club is Dan Daly and Grace Carpenter. Welcome. So nice to see you guys
once again.
Good to be here, Bobby.
Yes,
Thank
and you guys always have some really great information to share with us and share with the residents. And today's no exception, but a tough topic today, memory loss. And
right.
So this especially is difficult when as you're getting older, because the first thought is is this normal aging? Oh my gosh, I can't find my keys. Is that just it's just normal, not thinking, but then the next thought is, oh my gosh, could this be the start of Alzheimer's? Is this something more serious? So Dan, what are the signs of memory loss?
I would say the first sign is going to be confusion. The second sign is short term. I'll give you an example. If you're in a hurry and you're running into your house and you have an hour to meet somebody outside, if you place your purse or your car keys in an unusual spot and you can't find those keys, however, you retrace your steps and you find them. People who can't find them after retracing their steps has a problem, or the beginning of a problem. And it's usually correlation is very strong with short-term memory loss. It's tough, and it's a real challenge.
Is there a certain age that typically this could start happening? Like if that's happening in your 40s, is that something to worry about?
I would say that a lot of it has to do with multitasking in your younger age. When you're about 60 plus, that's when it takes effect. And that's when the early signs of memory loss will occur and develop. And it's a challenge, to say the least.
Yeah. And so if you're the one experiencing memory loss, or you live with the loved one it seems like maybe they're experiencing some memory loss, should you tell your neighbors or anyone else about it?
Yes.
I would say the beginning of memory loss is usually a sign that there's something ahead. It's going to develop into something more serious. And you should, those neighbors who are friends of yours, they should be told what's happening with the loved one. Because what's going to happen is next is going to be wandering. And once they wander and they go out that front door and they're unattended, they get lost, they're not going to find their way home. And that's when you're opening the door to a lot of problems.
I've read that a lot of times people, with dementia or the Alzheimer's, that they'll wander off because they have a purpose. They're going somewhere. They know where they're going, and they're off on their way to go do it, just like they've done their whole lives.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, it's almost like a flip switches, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, where am I? What am I doing? Where am I? Why am I here? And then that's when all of a sudden, I guess, the confusion fits in. Is that true with what you guys know about as well?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, she lived it
I lived it with a neighbor. And my motto has become kill the shame, because they're ashamed. Their partners are ashamed. They're in denial. First is, the denial that it's happening. And then if we gently say, your husband is coming into my house and turning all the channels to tennis or something, and they're in denial. That's what my husband was doing. Right. And the people were so kind to me because I wasn't in denial, but with my own neighbor, when he had memory loss, and I tried to get his wife to realize that something had to be done, because he was accusing me of actually killing him with marijuana, and I never smoked a cigarette, let alone marijuana, and we couldn't get them to go to a neurologist for testing even, because they were ashamed. We have to get rid of that. that feel, the stigma, you know, kill the stigma, kill the shame, stop, because it's going to make your life so much harder if you don't get out of denial and say, I have to change my expectations. Life is going to be different now. Face it, right?
Yeah, that's true. The other thing is, I'm a firm believer, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And at the age of 50, everybody should be undergoing a memory test.
Oh, really?
Great
And that's
idea.
highly recommended by
Yeah.
your preferred provider as well as neurologists in general. And that will show you, it'll give you a real good profile as to the extent of memory loss.
Well, and it's good to
I
have that
found
baseline
one.
testing too.
Absolutely.
So if there are changes down the road, you have something to compare it to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I found one. The University of Ohio Medical Center, they came up with one called the SAGE, the self-assessment. And so and you can Google it, like you can get the whole assessment online and do it yourself at home.
Wow.
And I was so excited because who's going to take the lead in assessing? We're going to have I don't know how many million. We have 164,000 diagnosed with Alzheimer's. But when you look at the umbrella of dementia and all the dementias, vascular dementia, there's so many people that are going to be diagnosed if we don't start, like with your idea of getting memory tests, say, early, and we can do it ourselves. This is
Absolutely.
wonderful. There aren't enough doctors. I called a neurologist for a friend, and I said, when Ken Papard, the wonderful, wonderful, that we all go to for that first test, and he said, probably in 2026, I'll be able to take my first new, and we're like, whoa, there aren't enough diagnosticians going to be available. They're
Right.
not available now. So we've got to really be proactive with this.
Yeah. And just like any disease, early intervention
Yes.
Exactly.
is going to slow it down.
Yes.
Maybe we can't prevent it yet, but
Yes.
to slow it down
Yes.
and to enjoy as much of life as you
And
can.
there are
So-
programs available to people who are concerned about memory loss or who have memory loss. Has to be over 200 on the internet of brain exercises. And that's going to help as far as delivering some therapy for memory loss.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys for being here today. And I know we have your meeting
Event,
coming up,
yes.
and the next Fit Blaine Club meeting is on Monday, February 12th at 10 a.m. in Clubhouse 3 at the PAC in Dining Room 2. And Tony will be talking more about this topic. So please make sure to come by and check this out. So thank you for having you guys. Stay with us. We have announcements and weather coming up right after this.
Thank you, Bobby.